where am I screen here? Okay, so continue your point. So right now we're debating the
You got me riled up. I'm so riled up.
so right now we're debating hex and the supply of hex. And look, me and you have been talking a lot about hex recently, and you've been bringing up some really great points. I've been very gung ho about it, but it's so controversial. There's a lot of people who love it, a lot of people who hate it, and so one of the things that we're discussing is the
You're
market
so
cap of
polite
hex.
when the camera switches on.
Well, no, I'm getting people. There's only like one person watching right now.
My goodness. Okay.
Okay, but like, so if we can maybe summarize here, you're
Yes.
suggesting that hex is maybe should not be viewed as the third largest cryptocurrency by market cap.
Look, to summarize it, I don't like illusions. I think that's where I stand. I don't like illusions. Hey, we're the third largest in terms of market cap. Sure. How much is there in one wallet? What are how much money came into Hex?
Right.
People that came in and put money in. That's different. That's different to me. So sure, it could be the third largest in terms of market cap, but also there's going to be a big flag right next to it saying, also, FYI, I don't know how much is like 65% of that as
Right,
in one
like the
wallet or
origin
whatever.
address or Richard Hart is
100%. 100%.
supposedly in control of the majority of the supply. So does it really make sense to rank Hex as the third largest cryptocurrency in the world if its supply is massively centralized, where something like Ethereum and Bitcoin or Cardano supply is
It
far
does.
more distributed?
It does. It does make sense, but it doesn't make sense not to mention that there's a huge allocation for in terms of one wallet only.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
we can
absolutely.
put it up there, but if we're not also adding that one person holds the majority,
Yeah, vast
then
majority.
that's
Yeah.
then yeah, then I think that's a bit of an evolution, you know.
And yes, and man, look, this comes back to my point where I've been really trying to ask myself and figure out why does so much of our audience and cryptocurrency people in general think that Hex is a scam? Because man, we put out polls, and we're asking our audience, what do you think about Hex? 29% of our audience thinks Hex is a scam. Over here, 29% of our
Can we
audience
see
saying
that
that they
again? Can
don't
we see
like
that poll
Hex.
again?
Yeah, yeah. What are your feelings towards Hex? Check out our video breaking down Hex. It's a 30% said
Bullish,
they were
not sure.
bullish, 27 not sure, 10% bearish. So really, you know, 40% of our audience is not feeling favorable towards Hex. And look, while I do think Hex has a unique profile and one could make the argument that Hex is very high risk, I have not seen or been convinced by an argument or a point of evidence that causes Hex to cross a threshold into the scam territory. I think it's
Right.
perfectly fine to define Hex as high risk. That's fine. But to call Hex a scam, there's no evidence of that. The protocol is not promising anything it can't deliver on. The interest is paid out by inflation. It could always deliver on that. I mean, I
Look,
don't
I
see it,
don't
man.
think you can call it a scam yet. No, like
Yeah.
to be very clear, like no, I don't think. But I do think that there's some, PR training we gotta we gotta work on with Hex to properly, just showcase the product. I think the product is nice. I'm
Yeah.
not sure how it's gonna perform. I'm not sure how, from a
It performed
fundamental
pretty well.
perspective, not price action, not price action, in terms of like an actual product before it starts to work as a blockchain, as what it's intended to be, the Ethereum, the better Ethereum, right? With
Yeah, it's
faster
meant to be better
transaction.
Bitcoin.
Sorry, better Bitcoin, my bad.
Well,
So I guess that's something that we'll have to wait and see. But clearly, I guess the price action is flying, so we can't really. But I wouldn't call it a scam yet.
yeah, again, I think Hex is high risk. I think Hex is very low liquidity. I mean, man, me and you were taking a look. And by the way, everyone, welcome to the live stream.
Wow, yeah. Let's just say we haven't made anything. I haven't made a video in a while. So thank you
Oh, yeah.
guys for for tuning.
Yeah, we should probably mention,
So guys, thank
you
you guys
know,
for coming in. And yeah, we just started off this, like literally a couple minutes before we start the stream.
yeah.
Brendan asked me a question, got me a little bit off the, of the rails, and he just started streaming this whole thing. So
Because, I've been very gung ho about Hex recently.
Yeah.
And I'm trying my best to figure out whether this thing is legit or not, because the implications being right or wrong on this are huge. And me and you have had quite a many discussions behind the scenes about this, because we're trying to figure this thing out ourselves, right? Because it's important to figure this out. And so yeah, man. No, folks, welcome back. We've been gone for like a week, 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna try and get back to more of a
Yeah.
more of a
We've been
schedule,
working
right?
a lot on the Discord, and trying
Yeah.
to see, we added a couple of stuff, a lot of trading going on, and just figuring things out. So appreciate you guys sticking around. Then soon
Yeah.
enough, we're gonna start doing this all over again. So make sure you stay tuned, man. We got how much? We got 13,000 people watching. Appreciate it.
You guys
Thank
are
you
the
guys.
best.
You guys are the best. What do you want to take a look at, man?
Look, guys, so I think we should kind of do like a market update. It's been a while since we've taken a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum. Maybe we can talk about Hex maybe later on. But yeah, man, look, I got Bitcoin, I got Ethereum pulled up. What do you want to take a look at first?
Let's maybe take a quick look at Bitcoin here with the weekly chart closing soon.
Yes. All right. Are you able to share your screen?
Yeah, but I just need to set something up quick. So if you
Okay.
can on your end here, that would
No worries.
be
Okay, folks. So look, I want to share my thoughts on what's going on with Bitcoin. I want to share some inflection points that I think will really help us understand kind of the macro picture. I want to share what levels I have in mind specifically, in order to understand whether we could see bullish continuation or whether or not we have more bearishness in store. Now, before we really delve into the price action here, into the TA and indicators and stuff and those specific levels, I first want to know how incredibly similar this price action here with Bitcoin is to this price action here. It's almost an exact fractal. So, folks, I took a fractal of Bitcoin from over here. You see, this blue line and this is an exact copy of this price action. And I just move that over here. And if we do a little bit of resizing, you can start to see how it's almost literally the exact price action. Look at that fractal. It's the goddamn same thing. Pump, dump, pump, dump. Look at that, folks. It's the same goddamn price action. The Wyckoff models, the Wackoff people were correct. So if we take a look at where Bitcoin retraced to last time, if we draw a Fibonacci retracement from the bottom of this move here, arguably the beginning of the bull market, arguably, to the top to all-time highs here, Bitcoin retraced to the 618 Fibonacci retracement, roughly. So if we do the exact same thing, since this seems to be an exact fractal of the previous pattern, well, where's the 618 Fibonacci retracement? Right here, just above $38,000, 38,000, 38,500. So, folks, right now, Bitcoin is battling some critical high time frame moving averages. Some important ones to note: this blue line here is the 21 exponential moving average on the weekly, and this lighter blue line here, if we zoom in a bit more, is the 100 daily exponential moving average. You see how we're finding rejection right off it right now on this daily candle. So for us to see bullish continuation, the first thing I'd want to see is daily candles fully opening and closing above that level. That's basically $39,000. Let's say we keep finding rejection here. Next major support level, 200-day EMA on the daily, like I just said. If that doesn't hold, folks, well, then in that case, it looks like we're testing $38,000. And if this does indeed look like a fractal of the past, which it sure shit does to me, I think that maybe around $38,000 would be the bottom if we start to lose the 200-day EMA. So, man, What do you think?
I do. No, I agree here. I'm just gonna maybe share my screen. So just to also add to whatever you were saying with the 38,000 here. Let me just add my. I don't even know why I can't.
I can keep going for a minute here. So
yeah, keep going. Let me just share.
So that's the bearish case, folks. Like if we do collapse further, I do think around 38,000 is likely to be the bottom. Another reason why I think 38,000 is likely to be the bottom is because this hash ribbon indicator. The hash ribbon indicator essentially measures capitulation of Bitcoin miners in the hash power of Bitcoin, right? And then when we have this blue buy signal, it is signaled kind of the local low and an incoming massive pump. All right. And so every time we've had a blue buy signal, we have never put it in a macro lower low. So see, blue buy signal here, we never went lower. Blue buy signal here, we never went lower. And you can look back, Bitcoin's done this many times, and we've always put in higher highs after blue buy signal, except for once, which was the global pandemic over here. We had a blue buy signal, we put in a lower low. So basically, folks, what I'm trying to suggest here is that barring a black swan event, these blue buy signals have historically been very accurate. So we have a blue buy signal right here suggesting that this area right here at 37,400, 500 is indeed the low. So if this indicator is to be accurate, as long as Bitcoin doesn't start to get higher time frame candles closing below 37,400, 500, any correction we may have may end up just being a higher low. And even if we correct all the way back down to 38,000, as long as we hold above 37,400, 500, higher time frame candles closing above that, well, then there is the potential of us still being in a macro bull market. So that is the critical level to look out for. In the short term, 39,000, 21 EMA on the weekly, 100 EMA on the daily. Then aside from that, folks, if we want to get bullish again, I would want to see a higher high, basically Bitcoin closing above 48,400. If we get a daily candle fully closing above that level there, then we could see bullish continuation. So that's my bearish price target. If we want to see bullish continuation, we're going to get above that. And yeah, that's pretty much where things going on with Bitcoin.
Straight to a billion.
Straight to a billion.
All right. So this is what I'm trying to say here. So just getting back to your point for a bit, the 38,000. And look, we do look at the order books. We do try to see where the supply and demand is. And obviously, there's a lot of things that are hidden in the order books. So always take that with a grain of salt. You won't really see much. But even if we're looking at Binance spot, I don't know, like there's not really much going on right below us here, leading all the way up to the 40K, which is still not really much to begin with. 27 million buy orders there, so not really something crazy. All the way down to the 38,000, it's like 53 million. And same thing here on Coinbase Pro. Some between the 39,500 all the way leading to the 37,500, so close to 78 million of buy orders that would 100% support us. But is it going to support us for a while? That's something we need to see what the market is saying. So we just need to wait on the market to speak to us. Guys, we don't expect much, just to see where those buyers will actually jump in. But the biggest thing I wanted to talk about here. So within 7 minutes here, the weekly candle is going to close. So this is what we were talking about before. So a couple of things we need to keep in mind here, especially with the volume, right? So as soon as the lower the volume is as we move away from the price action, we had this massive drop. Volume was crazy. Then we started dropping all the way down here. Not a lot was going on, like 200, 300, 4,000 Bitcoins got traded in that week. And again, that's just telling us there's less and less interest in the current trend. So this is actually going down this way. And then once that's telling us that, hey, less and less interest in this downtrend, we saw there's nice previous support here, and then we went back up. Now, the main thing we're talking about is that we didn't really, I don't know if you agree or no, but I don't think we ever tested this region fully yet. And even when we broke above, on the daily, sure. Like once we went up, we had just a bit of a retracement, nothing crazy, in my opinion, just came down for a bit, went up. I didn't really think that was sustainable enough. I wanted that bigger time frame, the weekly time frame, to come back down fully and kind of struggle. Like we want to see sellers struggle at this, 38,000 level. We want to see them really try to push, and just buyers fully rejecting that. And now we're getting that. Price action right now. We had a wick. We went all the way down here. What do we have here on Bitcoin? We went all the way down to the 39,600, previous to where those previous week closes were at. And now we're probably going to stay here maybe for, I would say, a month, maybe a couple of weeks, leading to 4 weeks. But this is the test I've been waiting for, in my opinion, for Bitcoin. I don't think this was not sustainable. And if you guys remember, me and Brendan were also talking about it here on the chart. Almost like, when was the last time we had a live stream?
I think it's been like a week or two.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah. So again, we were not convinced yet that retest happened yet. And I really do think that this leg right here is a part of a bigger pattern that's waiting to take place. Could be the first leg up in some sort of ascending triangle. We don't know what's happening. No one knows what's happening, but we definitely see some sort of reactions. Now we know the 30K held. This is solidified pretty well for us that the 30K held. Is the 38K gonna hold? And we need to, I would say, at least give it at least 3 weeks to 4 weeks to properly see how this plays out, man. But yeah.
Yeah, man. And look, again, based off that previous fractal, I think $38,000 is extremely realistic. If we maybe can go back to my screen here. Okay, perfect. We got to figure out how to do that on my end one of these days.
Someone to run the studio, man.
Yeah. But no, folks, like we have a clear downtrend. Lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low, falling below critical support levels, 200-day SMA, 50-day SMA, 100-day EMA, 21-week EMA, tons of higher time frame moving averages. We're clearly falling below. We're very bearish, folks. Again, 30,000 I do think is extremely realistic, especially if we get that daily candle closing below the 21-week EMA. Until we get back above that, folks, looks like we're going to continue downtrending. Now,
just pack your stuff up and just stay outside for a bit.
Guys, yeah, like I think it's very realistic that we test 38,000. We might not. If we get back above, 44,000, that's a very, very good sign, but it's not happening yet. So now something else to note is we're seeing a clear resistance trend line on the daily RSI here that coincides with price action. So seeing bullish divergence above this thing could be our cue that maybe it's time for, at the very least, a relief rally. And guys, the reason why I think something like this is so important to consider is because the last time we saw a bullish breakout from a resistance trend line on the daily RSI on a macro scale was here. And right when we broke out, which was right here, look, we had a massive run up of 60 some odd percent, right? So given that we're making a fractal of the prior move and forming a similar resistance trend line just on a smaller scale, I do believe seeing bullish divergence above this thing, or bullish breakout above this thing, is likely to be very relevant when trying to time when we could see a relief rally. So we will definitely let you guys know if and when that happens. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Boom.
Yeah. So ultimately, folks, in my opinion, we're just kind of in a limbo stage. We haven't, really broken below 38,000. If we get higher time frame candles, a daily, 3 days below 37,500, at that point, I would seriously start to question the strength of the supposed bull market. And until we get back above, 40,500, then we're probably not going to see bullish continuation. So we're just kind of in this in-between indecisive zone. Like you said, man, I would not be surprised if for the next couple of weeks, we just kind of trend sideways. Maybe we test 38,000 at some point.
Definitely. And one thing I wanted to share, man, real quick, just to kind of compare this to previous macro, I guess, we want to call it inflection point or whatever we want to call it. If we look back here, even specifically in terms of the MACD itself, if we're looking MACD combination with the volume, combination with where the RSI was sitting at, combination with how steep that drop in terms of volume and trading activity happened. If you look back here, how many times did the RSI itself actually touch that bottom oversold region? This here as well. I'm just talking like something below here between the 30 to the 35, 36, I would say. Now we still haven't really got there yet, but then again, we did significantly drop in terms of the RSI. And now if we're looking in terms of what the condition is, we're looking at, we had that drop with the volume, less and less interest in this trend over here, this drop. The RSI itself now, bounced, is still at least for me above the 50 level. And the MACD, was sticking up as well. And if we look before, same thing was happening. We had major drops like this. Let me just take this off. We had major drops like this. Then the RSI went all the way to the bottom. The volume itself was also, getting, to very low levels compared to the drop. MACD was all the way in the bottom. RSI was here. We actually flew. Same thing over on this side. I guess this is a whole same. This is the same kind of scenario. Even way back here, MACD was all the way in the bottom. RSI was all the way in the bottom. Volume was really steep in terms of after the drop. We had a massive drop. Now this is very similar to me. So I do expect some sort of movements. But again, we can all have our theories, guys. We can all have our analysis of what we think is going to happen. We want to see if the people think the same thing. And like we said, 38K to I would say maybe give it a bit of leeway, 38, 37, somewhere in between there. We might pierce through it, and then buyers will come back right up to buy it up. And if not,
we could be fucked.
Yes.
And the reason why 38K is so significant, let's see. Okay, I figured it out.
There you go.
All right. The reason why 30K, folks, is so significant is not only do we have the 618 Fibonacci retracement there, but if we go below 37,300, that would constitute a macro lower low. That's why it's so important that buyers step in at this region. Because if buyers do step in at this region, we would either maintain our base or at the very least not put in a lower low. Putting in a lower low in a higher time frame is very, very, very dangerous because it does not guarantee that we will dump, as we've seen over here. We put in a lower low, at least on a daily closing basis, but then we pick right back up. So oftentimes, market manipulators will try to dump just very briefly, very quickly below a critical support level, and then it gets bought right back up. So that's why I think the time spent at a region is very critical, because when if a breakout, if a support resistance flip is a fake out or not, you don't really know, and there's no perfect way to know. But one of the things that's helpful to look out for is the amount of time spent. The more the more time price spends at a certain region on a support resistance flip, the less likely that move is to be a fake out. Now, that's not a guarantee, but it is a helpful general rule of thumb, in my opinion. So what I'm saying is here, if we just kind of quickly wick down or spend one day at around 37,500, get bought back up, that's fine. But if we spend 1, 2, 3 days on a lower low below 37,400, 500, that's not good. That's very
Definitely.
not good. At that point, talking about a bear market is very, very possible. So we'll see what happens.
Definitely.
It hasn't happened yet.
Haven't yet. 100%.
Yeah, man. And look, we can talk about altcoins. Is there something you want to say there?
No, nothing besides, it's been kind of a slow month, to be honest. Slow month and a bit,
Yeah.
with not a lot going on. We had some news with Cardano. There's a couple of things here and there, but nothing really to, just kind of go crazy about. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a, idle time for now, but anything can happen. And one thing I want to kind of, I guess, I'm not sure what happened recently with just something we want to take a look at. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow in the video. But with the amendment to the bill we had almost 2 months ago, that just got washed up. No one's talking about it anymore. But it's coming up. I remember there was they were reviewing it in a couple of months. That's what they said a couple of months ago. So I think the time is gonna come up now. We're gonna see the government saying couple of things about that, so keep that in mind and don't let it catch you off guard.
And isn't China nuking the economy right now as well? With the housing crisis,
man. Look, yeah. I think we got so desensitized to this whole thing now. And just
by the way,
see how it goes.
China banned Bitcoin for the 10,000th time last week. So there's that.
Yeah, don't you ban something once?
No, they ban it every 6 months or something. I think it's like a tradition.
Right.
Yeah,
it's like a celebration kind of thing. Yeah, man, makes sense.
Yeah. So guys, look, that's pretty much what's going on with Bitcoin. I mean, we can go on endlessly. I mean, I could talk about the RSI for quite a long time. Guys, I'll finish off at least for myself with this. This price action here and what we're seeing right now is the goddamn exact same thing, both as a fractal and with the RSI. We were seeing bearish divergence, lower highs in RSI, higher highs with price action, higher highs in price action, lower highs with RSI. I mean, trend line broke out, massive impulse. Trend line, if we break out, wouldn't be surprised if we saw a relief rally. Guys, it's pretty simple. Right now, I think it's just a waiting game. Just gonna wait to see what happens. And like and subscribe, because once we see bullish divergence or something exciting happens, we'll definitely let you guys know.
100%. And I'm looking at 10L here. He looks kind of concerned about why we dumping.
Yeah. Why we dumping?
This is not a dump, man. This is not a dump. It's just a simple market movement. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah, it's a fractal. It's fundamental. China, a lot of news with China. So
I actually didn't even bother to read up on that.
Who cares?
Besides
man?
what you told me,
they always do this. They've always been. That's why no one gives a shit about China. China banned Bitcoin. China's housing market is the housing market thing is actually pretty relevant, because as soon as the Chinese housing market started to dump, the traditional stock market dumped, which was one of the reasons that we saw a flash crash with Bitcoin recently.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But guys, Let us know whatever you want to talk about here. Whatever charts
Mirth.
you want to take a look at. What do you got here, man? Look,
Well,
Mirth is in, and Hey Jay's
yeah, what
asking
up?
Brendan. Brendan, when you get a chance, Eternity Chain, what's going on with them?
Let's take a look.
Sensei,
It's been a while since we've taken a look at the third chain. And man,
speak up.
look, we can take a look at Ethereum after if you want.
Yeah, sure.
The thing about Ethereum is that it's pretty much follows whatever the fuck Bitcoin does.
Oh yeah.
So let me remove some of this bullshit. RSI on the, let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, RSI on the daily is not great. It's terrible, actually. Although the MACD histogram's trending up on the daily, that's good to see. All right, let's take a look at price action. Price action. Ooh, okay. This is actually kind of interesting, not gonna lie. All right, so what are we doing here? We crashed.
Is that a bully?
Massive dump. What?
Is that a bully chart? Is that a bully flag?
I don't know. No, I wouldn't say so. It's a bit overextended to be a flag. It would be a weird flag. Although a case could be made. If we zoom in, though, this could be like a pennant. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, actually, let's draw it instead of just guessing. Yeah, I mean, channel, pennant. It's not textbook, but I think what stands out to me on first glance is the fact that after our massive dump here, we formed a clear base of resistance. We see every relief rally rejected off the same goddamn place. And even when we managed to break above, we temporarily held support on that clearly established resistance base. Right here, resistance, resistance, resistance. And then look at this. We shot up, and now we're just coming right back down to retest this previously defined base of support / resistance. It's a bit more of a range, something like that. But point being, I think if we can hold on to preferably $10 is a nice psychological number, but I'd say even $9, $9 to $10. If $9 and $10 holds a support, then this could just be a simple breakout retest of support. And if we can hold the line here, then maybe we can see bullish continuation, especially if we break above that white trend line here on our channel.
Right.
Yeah. Anything stand out to you here, or is that pretty much?
No, not really. Besides that, but besides whatever you just said, I think it's a good support level. You know, you just probably wait for some sort of I don't really know much about it.
Eternity, it's just an NFT marketplace.
I see. So there you go, Hey Jay, 2009. You got it.
Yeah. So $10 hold, that's good. If it doesn't, not good. Not good at all.
Perfect. So let's talk about Ethereum for a bit, man.
Let's take a look. Man, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a while since I've taken a hard look at Ethereum.
I know, to be honest with you guys, we haven't really been doing I would say much YouTube, right? But we've been, like more I guess active on the Discord itself. And we've been doing a lot more trading, man. Just getting into some we felt like we just needed some sort of just some sort of time here to kind of recalibrate things.
Well, we got we went hard almost every day for like a year. So this is the first time in the better part of a year that we've taken like a little bit of time off.
100%. I think we needed it, man. I think that we needed it just to kind of just refresh everything. But man, appreciate you guys. So for Ethereum here, man, again, I guess you said it best. Just following Bitcoin right now, nothing crazy. The weekly candle actually just closed, and usually, although we have a lot of like a huge wick here, it just tells you that there's some buyers in the market, but the sellers are still dominant, right? So still there's sellers are still dominating this. Maybe we didn't have enough sellers to keep us all the way in the bottom here, but buyers are kind of coming in and rejecting the price action below. Like, I think right now, if we don't maintain that, the price action above the 3K, which looks like, we closed at the 3K, $3,052, which is pretty good. But overall, we really need to pay attention to the 3K, because anything below that, we might just come back down to this zone. At least, like, if we probably go back to the daily here, I would say that holy man, god damn.
I think you're struggling over there. I think 2,600 is pretty realistic if we lose 3K.
I do think so. Yes. Anywhere 2,500 to the 700, somewhere within that. That's like a buy zone. But then again, we double topped, which is not a nice thing to see.
Yeah, and you're looking at a weekly, but the monthly looks even worse. The monthly candles look terrible. Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how much that will actually go. We again, guys, not a lot has been going on, man. just a bunch of random altcoins.
Pumping. Yeah. Why?
No, I'm just reading some. Yeah, not a lot has been going on, man. Some altcoins and there's not really much going on right now. But what do you think about Ethereum?
Well, look, for me, again, like I mentioned, we're gonna be tracking alongside with uh, with uh, with Bitcoin pretty closely here. But basically, we lost the daily EMA ribbon. Not good. We came back up to retest. It got rejected. Like at this point, folks, Ethereum's just gonna track Bitcoin. I think retesting 2600, 2500 is very, very realistic if we continue to find this kind of rejection that we are seeing. I would expect some kind of, at the very least, temporary support to come in at $2,600, or at least that kind of zone, because we have the 618 Fibonacci retracement, the 200-day SMA and EMA, all right there at about 2,600. So I do expect that to be somewhat of a base of support for Ethereum. If we get higher time frame candles closing below 2,500 for Ethereum, that's when I'd start to get worried that we could probably see more of a deeper correction, maybe even to test 2,000 below. So
Right.
I really want to see 2,500 hold for Ethereum. If it doesn't hold, not good. Not
Yeah.
good at all.
And just looking at like a macro picture, right, without like specifying any specific level, at least for me, just one thing that kind of stands out the most is a couple of things. So we're looking at the monthly, and volume is like really dropping, right? Not a lot going on here, man. You know, these like, so that's not nice when we're seeing a clear uptrend and then volume is going down. It's telling you that there's less interest in that price action.
Literally, open interest is going down. Like there's literally
100%.
less future traders.
Yeah. And the RSI itself, you know, is kind of making a lower high here. The MACD is flattening out. We're seeing a lot of wicks to the upside. That's
It's not great.
yeah, it's not great. So keep that in mind, guys. Just be careful out there, man. Be careful out there, man.
Yeah, guys, look, there's a reason we haven't been like shilling like altcoin videos the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Is market's not looking too great. It's not looking
Yeah.
hot. Now we haven't like totally collapsed into nothingness yet. So like I don't think you should like panic or anything, but you know, we do want to get across the point that we're in a downtrend. We're seeing lower highs, lower lows. Higher monthly candles look weak. Indicators not looking great. You know, it's concerning.
Right. I don't think we've ever been this monotone, I guess, with our analysis on the
Because we've
market.
been through it, man. Like we've already
Yeah.
been through it already. Like we've had this massive crash. I'm like, let's
You
get
know,
it
it's like
just
a
over
bad
with.
ex. You know, it's like
Yeah.
a bad toxic relationship. That's what it is, guys. Like to me, I'm looking, I'm like, oh, we might fall. All right, yeah, no problem. It's gonna take a couple months, 4 months.
Honestly, if we're gonna fall, let's just fucking get it over with. Just crash.
Let's just
over
do it, man. Let's just do it. What do you guys think about the market? Jim's saying BTC reminds me of March 12th, 13th, when price just floated less than 1% growth. But yeah, that's the thing. It's seasonal, guys.
Yeah.
You know, now we're getting, you know, we're in September, heading October. That was the time when, you know, things start to fly last year. So maybe that's something that, you know, everyone's gonna get back inside now with the cold and everything. You know, online activity, you know, it gets it's a lot. It increases during the winter time. Imagine that's what we're using for Bitcoin as a metric. It's not, but I'm just saying there's some sort of seasonality to this whole thing,
yeah.
and the market goes in phases, guys. So that's something we just,
And look,
if you
man,
don't look at it yet, it's just something you need to mature about with the market.
I wouldn't be surprised if we enter some kind of sideways boring phase where Bitcoin just going to move sideways within a $10,000 or $5,000 range for like a month or two.
Yeah.
Just how, like, if we go back to my screen here briefly, again, the fractal, this pump followed by the dump, then like let's measure it. How many days of sideways? You know, roughly 2 months. You know, since this is kind of like a smaller move, I wouldn't be surprised if at this point we just kind of trend sideways for a month within, you know, a range from 45,000 to about 30,000. Just like that, just boring sideways for a month, even longer, a month or two would not surprise me the least bit. With Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree, 100%.
Yeah. Let's see what HJ is saying. HJ is saying sentiment is going to change the market. I think we're going to see more fortune companies getting in. How much did Dish buy of Cardano or BTC? How much did Dish? Who's Dish? Clarify who's Dish.
Hey Jay, what are you saying?
Well,
Dish.
Well, one thing I would add though, someone not someone, a few people have been talking about the possibility of an American Bitcoin ETF being approved sometime
I
in
heard
quarter
that.
four. Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about this. So Tanley's still asking why we dumping.
I don't
So
know, man.
if we do have that that Bitcoin ETF being approved in quarter four, I mean that could be very, very bullish, because if the American market is fully opened up to Bitcoin, folks, like I think it was Kevin O'Leary who said $1 trillion could easily flow into Bitcoin
Yep,
in a short period of time if that American Bitcoin ETF was accepted. So
100%.
that could be the catalyst to click us back into a bull market. We'll see. We'll see.
100%, man.
Yeah.
Dish Telecom Company and Boost Mobile partnered with Ada. Wow, okay. Cardano partnership partners with Dish Boost.
Oh,
Sorry if I'm moving too much because I got the camera here in my beautiful face.
yeah. Isn't the Cardano summit going on? When is that?
Bro, Cardano is doing too much. I can't even
October
keep up
1st.
anymore.
Yeah. Cardano's been killing it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. So, guys, again, let us know if there's anything you want us to take a look at as well. What's been on your mind, man?
Well, you know what's been on my mind. I've been fucking
I
telling
know
you
what's
about it
been on your
nonstop.
mind.
Look, so before we delve into that, I do want to maybe bring up one altcoin I've been pretty excited about. I've been talking about it in the VIP disc group. Folks, just I'll quickly shill our VIP disc group. We were going to raise the price like on the 15th, but we're delaying that. It's honestly a lot of work and I don't want to do it. So, folks, get in, sign up now before before my laziness runs out and I I do all the work and increase the price of our VIP disc group. But point is, you have been killing it in the VIP disc group with the trading stuff,
I've been having fun, man.
guys. Tons of trading stuff in there,
Been
charting
having fun.
stuff. Yeah. And one of the things I mentioned in there recently is Moon River, which is an EVM compatible Kusama protocol. So this project is what will allow Ethereum smart contracts to be interoperable with the Kusama and Polkadot ecosystem. So this is the bridge that allows the software of Ethereum to be to work with Polkadot and Kusama projects. So this thing is clearly forming some kind of descending triangle, arguably descending channel here. Okay. Point being, I do think there's a very clear base here at around 280 and a very clear resistance trend line, meaning a descending triangle. And we're about to break out, folks. Today, tomorrow, very, very, very soon here, this thing is about to break out, and we're about to find out whether or not this is maybe the beginning of an Elliott wave or if we have a lot more dumping in store. If we lose to 80, get higher time frame candles closing below that, 4-hour, 12-hour daily, then folks, we could probably quickly dump to the low 200s. My guess is about $200 to about 230 is probably where we could dump to fairly quickly if we start to lose 280. Now, if we break out bullishly, then I wouldn't be surprised if an impulse takes us all the way back up to about 420 here. If we get higher time frame candles closing above 420, then in that case, we might either test or have a chance of making new all-time highs here. So, folks, look, this is a fundamentally sound project that I'd be willing to hold over long term. That is about to break out. So, don't FOMO. I would say add it to your watch list, do your own research, and just wait to see what way we break out. Because even as a swing trade, this thing could be interesting, potentially speaking.
Moon River.
Yeah, Moon
That's
River.
what it's called?
Yeah, so there's Moon River and there's Moonbeam. Moonbeam is the Polkadot version. Moon River is the Kusama version. For those who don't know, Kusama is just kind of like the test net of the Polkadot ecosystem. It's kind of like the experimental version of Polkadot. So Moonbeam is not out yet. It probably won't be out for a while. Moon River is out and about and is the second project to get a parachain slot on Kusama. So very bullish, folks. There's literally dozens of projects trying to get slots on Kusama as a parachain, and Moon River was the second project to get it, and there's dozens and dozens of projects fighting for a slot. So that's really got to tell you something about the quality of this project.
Definitely. No, I agree, man. I agree. I don't really know much about it, but it sounds like, something that's promising. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what's going
100%.
on with with Moon River there.
I want to ask, man.
Yeah.
There's 20 people watching. Would you guys like us to do some, I guess, some live trading videos or some live trading, just doing live trading in general on YouTube? Let us know. That would be
Dude,
something
they
that's
would
fun.
love it, folks.
That's all we've been,
Metzen
working.
feels like he needs permission to start
You know
making
what? I
trading
run this
videos.
shit, man. What am I talking about?
Yo, people would fucking love it, guys. Messin has been killing it. If you're a VIP disc, remember, Messin's been killing it
Let them know.
non-stop. There, I'm
Let 'em
impressed,
know.
man. I'm gonna say, man, I've been impressed with your trading, with your charting. You've been
Appreciate
fucking
it, man.
killing it, and I think the people deserve a little taste.
100%.
So,
I'm show them a little taste then.
yeah,
That's
we'll
what
see.
it is.
Yeah,
But
we'll
no,
see.
man, it's been something we've been kind of like. That's what started the whole thing. Even when me and you like first met, we met on a project we're working together, and then that's literally the first thing we kind of
Yeah,
started working on, just trading and stuff. And now everything came up and all the fame we had.
oh yeah, yeah.
And now we're here. Yeah, but yeah, well, we'd love to do, man. Even like daily live trading or something. Maybe just in the morning quickly. We'll let you know what we're looking at, what kind of, do scalping, just day trading in general. And we've been doing good, just something we want to share with you guys as well, just for the sake of sharing. So, yeah.
Just says yes, live trading good. Mirtha's saying do it. Yeah, man, the people would love that. I'm telling you.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go, man. So, yeah,
Also,
we'll start doing that.
someone is asking us to take a look at perp. Do you want to take a look here?
Let's take a look at Perp.
Protocol. I actually own this one, eh?
Do you?
Yeah, perp.
What
yeah,
don't
perp
you
is-
own, man?
Well, I have been actually consolidating a little bit here. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so clear, obvious downtrend on perp, lower highs, lower lows, broke support trend line. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is. You see how there's a clear base of support, like right here, and
Right.
like we're kind of finding rejection off it. Long wicks to the upside. It's not what you want to see. I would say perp has really got to hang on to 1350. If we get like daily candles opening, closing below 1350, you see a clearly defined base of support. You'll probably see more downside in that case. And again, guys, I'm just doing this on the fly here. Yeah, 618 Fibonacci retracement. I got a 1220.
This is a good buy zone, man.
Yeah,
This is
that's
actually
the
a good
worst
buy
buy
zone.
zone. Yeah.
Is it?
Now, yeah, because here's the thing. My approach is if you like something and it's correcting, and in my opinion, the 618 Fibonacci retracement is never a bad time to be accumulating.
Oh, I thought you said this is the worst buy zone. Is that what you said?
No. You just brought
Okay.
that up.
Oh, okay. I thought you said that's the worst buy zone. I'm like, oh, this is a good buy zone. Okay, never
No,
mind.
no,
man,
no, I
never
didn't
mind.
say that,
Yo,
no.
don't worry about it, man. Never mind.
No, I would say this is a good buy zone. I'm agreeing with you. That's a 618. Like, of course, it's always possible that we could fall further, but it's kind of known as a general rule of thumb that the 618 is typically where things like to retrace to. And I mean, it's like a decent enough pullback. I mean, it's like a 50% some odd pullback that, like, if you believe in this thing long term, not the worst place to accumulate. Now, if you wanted to play things a little bit safer, I would say maybe wait out for maybe some bullish breakout, bullish momentum. If we get high time frame candles closing above this red trend line, maybe get back above $15. Like, sure, you might be buying in at a higher price, but you'd be buying in with more confidence that the bullish trend can continue if and when we start to hold above $15, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah. Is there anything that stands out to you here? Or?
Honestly, just looking at it just right off the bat, it just looks like a good place to buy it. Like, that's actually pretty much it. The only thing I would say, are you looking at the daily chart now?
Yeah, daily. Yeah.
The only thing I would say that there could be a possible, EMA cross to the negative, but I really do think we just need to check, if people are actually buying it or not. So you need to go and see the trading activity, see if that's something where buyers actually do step in. But that's a crazy green candle to see right after, like a prolonged downtrend like that, somewhere close to $13. So looks like, it hovered there for a bit too, like 4 or 5 days, and it moved up. So I do expect it to actually continue to move upwards, but we're going to have to pass through that cluster of EMAs at, what is it there?
Right about 50,
Yeah,
50.
exactly. Yeah, that's something definitely we need to pass through, but I do expect buyers to come in, over leveraged buyers.
Yeah, and look, Perpetual Protocol, in my opinion, is a fundamentally sound protocol. For those who don't know, Perpetual Protocol is just decentralized leverage trading, where you could up to, I think it's like 10x a decentralized trade like Ethereum, Bitcoin, and a bunch
Right.
of other altcoins. So as these centralized exchanges start to clamp down more and more in terms of regulation, KYC, they're even shutting down services to a lot of jurisdictions globally. As that trend continues, which is likely to do so, as regulation is only beginning in the crypto space, these decentralized protocols, DEXs, and those that allow leverage trading in a decentralized manner are going to continue to get more and more adoption over the long term, in my opinion. So, Perp is definitely not the worst long term hold. I own it for longer term. As well, another popular one is DYDX. So DYDX and Perp are both competitors.
I was actually gonna bring this one up.
Perp,
This is the one I was trading today.
DYDX.
It's been going
Let's
off,
pull it
man.
up. Let's take a look.
It's been actually going off here. Maybe we'll just check it out real quick here. There's the chart we're looking at right here. So I was just looking for a scalp. So this is besides what the project is, but it's been doing great, man. It was up. I'm looking at the 5 minute here, but let's just look at the daily. It really did like great today. The past couple of days, it's been up like what I think more than 73%. And again, I wouldn't say buy it right now because I really do think it's gonna hit the $20
Kind of looks like a
region.
great short, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's where I had my I still have my shorts there, so that's where I have those two green lines. I just missed it by a couple of cents, man. I would have been out by now, but again, guys, that's how you just wait and see how it is. But again, I don't know much about the project itself, but you're saying what? It's a decentralized
It's
exchange.
decentralized leverage trading. Yeah,
Good to know.
yeah.
We're
Literally.
about to short the hell out of
Yeah.
it. I hope it touches that $20, guys.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, I think
So,
it's pretty solid in terms of how like it's been building up as well. But if you're interested if you're looking at this, I guess don't. But I don't want no financial advice here. But if it hits the $20, probably gonna have a major retracement back down. And yeah, you don't
watch it
want to
just
get caught
shoot
up in
through the
that
moon. Just shoot.
unless they break it, because it's actually not a
Yeah.
lot. It's actually not a lot. It's like probably like 4.2 million, man. It's nothing, but
How
there's a
long has
lot
it
of
been out
hidden
for?
walls. Huh?
How long has it been out for?
Let's see here. We got like
Like not
probably like a
long.
couple of weeks. Yeah, nothing here.
Yeah.
What do we have?
Yeah, like when you see these kinds of
3 weeks,
impulses
close to
too,
3 weeks.
you're gonna have profit takers on that kind of impulse.
Oh,
In this
100%.
kind of market, like when Bitcoin, like guys, altcoins are super precarious when Bitcoin is precarious. Like I'm very doubtful that we see general macro bullish continuation while Bitcoin and Ethereum look weak.
Oh yeah.
So, with Bitcoin and Ethereum looking dubious, I strongly doubt that we could just rally to the moon when the macro market's looking weak and there isn't a lot of decorrelation, in
Yeah,
my
no,
opinion.
I agree, man. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. A lot of random altcoins have been blowing up every day.
AVAX, fucking,
It's just flying. Those are
Yeah.
like their best. Like they're fun to trade when the market is just like going like sideways. Like
Solana
right
was
now.
great to trade for a minute there.
Oh yeah, Solana, Axie as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Elrond's been pretty great.
Elrond, H bar. But again,
Yeah.
that's just for trading, guys. But yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, look, bro. Look, man, I know we kind of started off with a version of this
We
conversation.
started off on the wrong foot.
No. In the beginning of this live stream, I think it's a great foot to start off on personally.
Right.
But and like, let me know if this is like tired, but I think it might be worthwhile to maybe rehash a short version of some of the discussion we've been having with Hex. If you think it's worthwhile,
May I start?
please go ahead.
Okay.
Should we maybe frame the discussion?
Go ahead. I'll let you frame it.
All right. So, guys, look, I have been very, very gung-ho about Hex ever since I got in at around 12, 14 cents. I was shilling it in our VIP disc group at around 14.5 cents. All right. And ever since then, I've been trying to learn a lot about it. I've been pestering, messing a lot about it. We've had multiple long discussions about Hex. We're trying to personally better understand what the project is, if it has longevity, what the risks are. There's so much controversy behind Hex. And so, we are hopefully going to try and share some of our thoughts behind Hex here. So please go ahead.
So, look.
Yeah.
I think the whole scam thing people are talking about, right? I would still blame that on the PR team.
On Richard, yeah.
100%.
A
Again,
lot
like
of
that's
people
maybe
call
his
Hex a
style.
scam.
Yeah, maybe that's his style, whatever, sure.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest thing is, I would say, I can't call it a scam. I would say if he delivers what he promises, then that's going to be a great product.
But he's done it.
Yeah. Done what?
He's delivered on what he's promised on. Hex is a finished product. It's not changing.
So like we got like everything dApps and everything ready to go, and
No, like Hex, there's none. Like Hex is not like Ethereum, bro. Like Hex is literally just a store of value. Like
right.
there's
So you just made
there's
the
gonna
coin.
be there's gonna be no changes to it. Like it's a fully finished product. It's immutable. It will never be changed.
I guess so. So there's that. So I guess that's a part of the conversation then.
Did you switch to your screen?
The Sorry, say it again.
You switched to your screen.
I actually didn't. Did I?
Oh, okay. All right, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I guess which talking point would you want to?
Well, because look, a lot of people say Hex is a scam. A lot of our audience does not seem to understand that Hex is the third largest cryptocurrency by market cap. A lot of our audience does not seem to like Hex. We've put out several polls asking people about Hex, and a lot of people seem to think it's a scam. And so, I personally do not think it's a scam. And me and you, I think, have a little bit of differences. I don't think we do. I think we've just been defining how we view Hex more and more through our discussions,
Right.
kind of, behind the scenes here. So, look, man, I don't think Hex is a scam. I think it. Do you think it makes sense to define Hex as maybe high risk but not a scam? And maybe we can delve into why one could argue it's high risk.
I would say let's just forget about calling it a scam, because calling it a scam is just like there's nothing specific you can target. Like I'm not gonna say it's a scam, but I would bring up the extremely low liquidity.
Good point.
And I would bring up Richard, like his allocations. And again, people say, or like you would say that, you can't apply the same standard. You're saying that in terms of market caps, in terms of how much they actually got in their wallet, this and this and this and that. Everybody does that. No problem. There's the liquidity issues as well. Liquid markets move a lot quicker. If someone comes in and puts $1 million when the market is illiquid, it's going to jump, 10%. But if someone puts some money when the market is liquid, 10 million, it might move at 1%. When the market is not liquid, it's illiquid. You'll find that flying probably like 5 times higher. So again, we attribute oh, hey, look, Hex, we're doing great. We're just flying. We're just going up. And then you'll go and look at like how much is actually being bought. And it's actually fuck all.
Yeah,
there's nothing being bought. So what's happening there? That's like first red flag. A couple more things like that I wouldn't call it a scam. Maybe it's too early for it, right? Maybe it's not the time. Maybe that's something like 3-4 years that we start seeing extreme liquidity happen. But then again, if that happens, that means Richard would have to, have more circulating supply, unless he plans to have the 55% in his wallet forever.
Okay, yeah. So this is what Messon's referring to, guys. So look, again, I've been very gung ho about Hex, but we want to make it very clear what the risks are with Hex, and Messon just brought up some very good points. So number one, Hex is highly, highly centralized. The origin address, which people theorize Richard Hart is in control of, the owner of Hex, holds 53% of the total supply. That's a lot. And then the Pulse Chain Sacrifice address owns 20%, which is also probably in control of Richard Hart. So Richard Hart essentially controls the vast majority of the Hex supply. So theoretically speaking, if Richard Hart were to lose his mind or whatever, he could just market sell and crash the Hex price to zero.
But that's not my main concern, though.
But it is a concern. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah. I just want to clarify. Yeah, okay, keep going.
Okay, and then aside from that, not only is it highly centralized, but it has extremely low volume, meaning it's easy to move it up when people buy it, but that also means that it's very easy to move down when people sell. Because look, there's a lot of people staking for a long time in Hex. What happens when people unstake? I
Right.
mean, there's this kind of trading volume can only absorb a finite amount of people selling, very few amount of people selling before we really start to see dramatic price action. So that's a very real risk to Hex. And look, the way I like in Hex and the way I like to think about Hex is I view Hex as being in a different category from Bitcoin and Ethereum. Uh, kind of in this in-between space between something like Ethereum and something like the NFT market, where the NFT market is highly, highly illiquid. There's no order book. There is no guarantee that if you buy an NFT, you're ever going to be able to sell it. You could buy an NFT for 100 Ethereum and might not ever find a seller. And if you do, maybe you sell it for a 99% discount. So the NFT market is a highly illiquid market with no order book, but people don't call the NFT market a scam. People think the NFT market is legit. So just because a market has low liquidity doesn't mean it's a scam. It just means there's risk. That's the way I view Hex. So Hex is kind of like in between the NFT market and Ethereum, where Ethereum is highly, highly liquid, can absorb a lot of buying and selling. The NFT market is highly liquid, cannot really absorb a whole lot of buying and selling. And I think Hex is kind of like in the middle there, where it doesn't make sense to compare it to an Ethereum, and it's not as liquid as the NFT market either. But my point is, a lot of people criticize Hex as being a scam due to low liquidity, but there's other markets that are low liquidity, and we don't call those markets a scam. We consider those markets to be legit. So I do see there to be kind of a double standard being applied to Hex that we don't see in other projects. Does that make sense?
I don't think I agree with
With the
comparing it to the NFT place. To be honest with you, I think completely different products, completely different mechanism of buying and selling, completely different velocity of price change. You can't just execute an NFT in a whole marketplace, and you can't just own 55% of that and then within seconds just crash the NFT market.
you can. That's how it works.
Say that again.
Like, let's say the base price of an NFT portfolio is 100 Ethereum. Someone decides to sell one of those NFTs for 1 Ethereum. Now the base price goes to 1 Ethereum, and that takes a second. So, look, I do think
No. Different products. Let's just compare apples to apples.
Right, they are different products, but the reason why I do think this analogy makes sense is because they're both assets. They're both speculative assets. It both being very illiquid. One market is considered to be legit. Another market is considered
No.
argued to not
I
be
don't think
legit.
that's what it is. I think why is it so hard? And I would. It's not a criticism. It's actually not a criticism. But why is it so hard just comparing apples to apple? Why do we need to go to like NFTs at the start? Why can't we just talk about Hex being a
No.
liquid?
We,
Like
we can and we did. We just said it. But like people say, because it's illiquid, therefore it's a scam.
No, because it's a liquid.
I'm not saying
price...
you argue that. I'm saying that argument is out there.
Okay, sure. That's probably someone stupid bringing that argument
Sure,
up. If
but
you're
that's
saying,
why
hey,
I'd say, okay, you're saying because it's a liquid, therefore it's a scam. I show you examples of markets that are very liquid and that everyone considers to be legit. So why is there a connection there? Now you bring up the point that there's a difference because with Hex, it could fall much faster than those other coins.
Right.
There's no order book with the NFT market. There's no order book with the housing market. With Hex, there is an order book, so it could fall extremely quickly if a few amount of people sell a lot.
Right. And that's the thing, because my issue with the liquid market doesn't mean it's a scam. I'm talking about the price action. When I'm looking, the price action going up crazy, and we're just saying, someone comes and says like, hey, everybody's buying Hex. Everybody's buying it. No, not everyone's buying Hex. The market is illiquid. 10 million would move it crazy. We saw the charts. That's what it is. It's not, but again, when we listen to whoever talks about it, right? It's always like, I'm not calling it a scam, but the question asks itself. It's not just going up because there's billions of people flocking to buy Hex. No, the market is illiquid, meaning that anything would move it. And you can easily look at the at the charts. You can easily look at the volume that's there, and there's actually not a lot going on.
No.
AKA, it's not performance. It's not people flocking in, and that's why again I'm saying illusions. I don't like illusions. Hex could be the most perfect product out there, but let's not attribute extremely high price action to
Massive
meaning
user
everybody's
adoption.
buying it. No,
Yeah,
there's
no, I don't
not
think
a
they
lot of
are.
people buying it. Yeah,
And I actually don't think anyone is. And another thing too is, man, I like in my responses to this conversation, I feel the need to, number one, respond to you, but also to the arguments I know that are out there floating about Hex. So
right.
when responding, just know for you and the audience that I'm trying to respond to both the points you bring up and that we've brought up ourselves in conversation in the past and arguments I hear out there. So when I say something that I'm trying to, also maybe
watch your mouth, man. Watch your mouth, man. But no, that's the point. Look, I don't because I listen to him a lot, and I think he does have a nice product, but again, illusions. That's where I'm kind of having a bit of a problem. I don't know why am I bringing up the NFT marketplace saying that's not what we're talking about.
It's not what you're talking about. And again, the reason why I bring that up is because I'm responding to a lot of the art, because I know because look, man, the reason why I want to have this argument is because I'm very, very gung-ho about Hex, and I've been talking about it a lot. I made a video about it a lot, very bullish, but I want people, if they're going to buy into Hex, to know the risks, know the cons, know what you're getting into. I think I have a pretty good understanding of what's going on. I think Hex
I think you do. I actually think you do, 100%.
I think one can make the argument that Hex is high risk, but if you just understand the risk and you're okay with it, then fine. But like I hear a lot of people call Hex a scam, and I've seen no piece of evidence. I've heard no argument, and Mess, and I've been looking that convinces me that Hex is a scam. I think Hex is arguably high risk due to it being massively centralized and very low liquidity. I think it's high risk, but I don't see any argument or piece of evidence that crosses it over. The threshold's been crossed, turning it into a scam. I don't see that.
Yeah, no, I do not think it's a scam.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a scam.
Yeah,
but again, this is Leroy saying this is no argument. This is just facts. Of course, we're not arguing. This is how me and this guy talk. This is
that's how we talk. Yeah,
PG. Like this is a rated. This is us being nice.
Oh yeah. We love this.
But yeah, no, I agree. Look, man, my orders got filled.
For
DYDX.
Are you in a short?
I'm definitely in a short right
now.
No
one front run him.
Huh?
No one front run him.
I am actually fully right now. So my first order was right here. I had it at the what did I enter? So 19.8, and now I'm hoping for my other order at somewhere close to the, I would say like 19. I have it, 19.95, somewhere close to that. Where do I have it? 19.95. Yeah. So I really hope 19.95 hits so I can have a more like size here. But I really do think that we're gonna have a nice drop, man. And if not, then we had a bunch of buyers come in, and that's pretty nice as well.
Okay. Well,
again, my bad. Can go back to that.
All good. And we've been going for an hour here, so maybe we can start to wrap up. But man, look, we can go on with Hex for a long time. I see Leroy saying Hex is trash. LOL tokenomics suck. I mean, I don't know about that. I think Hex is some of the most interesting tokenomics I've ever seen. Where it incentivizes removing circulating supply through staking, where the longer you stake and the more you stake, the higher interest you earn. But I think you might be referring to the centralization of Hex, which, again, if you don't like massive centralization, then Hex is not for you. If you're okay with the risk and understand that this is a system that's designed to go up in value, then, hey. See, and man, this is why this conversation is actually important, man, because Chris over here saying Google says it's a scam. We just went over what we think are the biggest arguments against Hex. The low liquidity and massive centralization. So yes, Hex is massively controlled.
Definitely.
So that is a risk. But does massive centralization, low liquidity equal scam? No, it equals high risk, in my opinion. What is a scam? A scam is a financial product, at least in this case, that promises something it can't deliver on. Hex pays out. All Hex does is it's a store of value that pays out its inflation to stakers. That's all Hex does. And it can always deliver on its promises because the interest is paid out in inflation, which it can always deliver on. See, the difference between something like BitConnect and Hex is that BitConnect promised interest it could never deliver on. BitConnect said it had a bot that would constantly, trade and arbitrage, and that's how
That's just stupid, man. That would
yeah, and it didn't work. It was a scam because you know why it was a scam? Because BitConnect promised something it couldn't deliver on. Hex promises interest simply through inflation. It could always deliver on that. And guess what? It's a very good point that Hex is highly centralized and low liquidity, but maybe 5 years from now it has much better liquidity. Maybe not, but maybe it does.
Yeah,
And
no, I
Hex,
think it could. I think it could, yeah.
and dude, complete garbage pumps and sticks around in the space. Dogecoin is a 2017 project, man. It's stuck around. Hex is going to stick around. You asked me in 5 years the liquidity issue isn't a lot better. I think it is. I'm betting it is. I could be wrong. It could go to zero, but I'm betting it won't. We'll see what happens.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
And also, again, just to maybe start to wrap up here, Pulse Chain's coming out soon. That means all your Hex, liquid, staked, and ERC20s is going to be doubled onto the Pulse Chain. If it has any kind of comparable value, Hex could drop 50% and you'd essentially be breaking even because you're getting double the amount once Pulse Chain comes out. So it's a little bit of an insurance policy. What?
But just something to look for.
Yeah, something to look out for.
I agree, man. I agree.
So look, man, how do you think we should wrap up here? We've been going on for over an
hour. My trade is just flying right now. So we're good. We're in profit, man. We're in profit.
Oh, you're in profit.
Yeah. No, besides that, guys, again, I guess something we're gonna get back onto here. We just had to recalibrate. We kind of, found whatever we wanted to work on. We checked out Discord, just worked on a couple of things, built a couple of systems, And again, we're gonna see a lot more content coming up. We just we needed some time off, basically, just to kind of think what we're looking at, whatever we actually enjoy doing, right? So some things we got to work on. But besides that, appreciate you listening. Appreciate you listening to the banter, to the arguments. And yeah, man, I guess that's pretty much it from me.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you biting your lips and just smiling with a smirk, man?
Because look, man, I could, because I'm giddy because
you're good.
I'm right about something and everyone else doesn't understand it yet.
Look, I think it's just, look, man, Einstein was just... not everyone liked him.
Yeah, in the early days, but it wasn't until later that people saw his genius.
Exactly. Yeah. So, maybe
I'll wrap it up with this, guys. Look, I've been harassing Mess in the last month about Hex nonstop because I've been trying to understand it myself and come to my own conclusions, as you should too. And what I'm noticing is that every single argument against Hex, all those exact same arguments could have been lobbed against Bitcoin back the first few years it came out. Back when Bitcoin first came out, the liquidity was garbage, non-existent. Back when Bitcoin first came out, Satoshi Nakamoto he still owns 1 million Bitcoin, a massive centralization, massive whales, all the fear of whales dumping, all the low liquidity. All these exact same arguments are now being lobbed against Hex with no sense of irony and no sense of history. Hex can deliver on what it promises because all it does is promise high interest due to inflation. It could always deliver on that. I think it has staying power. I think years down the road, the liquidity will improve. I could be wrong, but I see a recipe here for something that over the long term is likely to be extremely volatile, could crash 90-95%, could go to zero, but also could continue to do what it's been doing, which is rocketing to the fucking moon.
Definitely.
So
I agree, man. I agree.
Yeah. Folks, join the VIP Discord group. I shilled Hex at 14.7 cents. You could have been up a shit ton on Hex. Messin has been killing it in there with charting and trading stuff. So, folks, if you're interested in investing stuff, join our VIP Discord group, trading stuff, join it as well. I will eventually be raising the prices at some point. It is a lot of work for me, so I haven't been doing it. Eventually, I will. So, folks, sign up before we raise the prices. Like and subscribe as more stuff on Pulse Chain comes out. I'll be showing it. Any last words, bro?
No, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Take care.
All right, peace.
Like and subscribe. Drink water.